Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. It is that time, everyone. It's that time for another edition of Marilyn's Cafe Society Radio right here on YouTube. And how are you on this Thursday, October 14th? Have you been living, loving, and laughing? I've been trying my best to. Actually, I'm just going to put it out there and say that I have been, although there have been some things that have been um, um, what do I want to say? How do I want to express it? Just kind of um, saddening my spirit, but it's going to be okay. It is going to be okay. And so I just want to, before we get into the business of everything, I do want to send heartfelt prayers and condolences out to the family and friends of educator, author, historian, activist, oh boy, advocate, World War II veteran. What else? Beloved griot, and of course, Chicago's very own Timuel Black. Now, I met Mr. Black. I want to say the Honorable Timuel Black, but I met him when I moved back. I relocated back to the city, to Chicago from the suburbs in the mid 90s. And I was pursuing big time radio and just connecting in the community, working and or volunteering on the areas of special events and public relations, and just learning my community and reconnecting with folks. And so, as a result of my work with the Washington Park Community Council, as well as another organization in Bronzeville, I met Mr. Black, and he was just an inspiring person. You could tell when he walked in the room, people, practically stood up, sat up a little bit more straighter, and he just didn't hold anything back. He spoke truth to power and was just a very encouraging individual. And so he would drop Roosevelt University's name to me on many occasions, especially when I had mentioned that I wanted to return back to school. And so that's how I ended up at Roosevelt University. And so again, I just want to acknowledge his life. He was 102 years old. My gosh, my goodness, right? That's incredible. And so again, condolences and prayers to the family. And that was a long life lived of serving others. And he will truly, truly be missed. All right, and so let's go ahead and get into some news and information. There have been several media reports recently speculating that affordable housing provisions are at risk of being significantly cut and even eliminated entirely from the $3.5 trillion legislative package known as Build Back Better Act. Now, this is currently under negotiation among members of Congress as part of the reconciliation process. And the House legislation this particular House legislation would be the largest investment in affordable housing in a whole generation. Currently, Build Back Better includes $34.77 billion for home, which estimates predict could help state and local governments develop nearly 107 new affordable housing units, while also providing tenant-based rental assistance to over 300,000 low-income families. Now, the enterprise community, which hipped me to what was going on, is leading the effort in advocating for the preservation of vital affordable housing provisions and Build Back Better, including funding for the Home Investment Partnerships program and strengthening and expanding the low-income housing tax credit. And so they're urging everyone to reach out to their members of Congress to encourage them to support leaving the home programs in this $3.5 trillion legislative package that's on the table. Don't cut it. Call them, email them today, and let them know that they need to keep it in that reconciliation package. And of course, just share your strong support for this home and housing credit programs to everyone that you know, and encourage them to do the same. In other news, according to LinkedIn's latest workforce report, which identifies the top fields attracting outsiders. Yeah, folks who've never worked in that particular field or industry. So listen, coming in at number one is transportation and logistics. They have about almost a 35% increase in people who have moved into that sector of work. At number two, you have the area or sector of software and IT. They have also close to a 35% uptick in new people entering the industry. Number three is corporate services. They have almost 31% of new people in that area. Wellness and fitness follows with about 30% increase of new people, and the real estate industry has also a 30% increase of new people in that field. And so for many of these industries, they are reporting that the talent flow is kind of going both ways. Earlier in the week, we talked about industries or fields, sectors of and work that have lost people. But according to this report, for example, healthcare, not only have they lost people, but they are also attracting newcomers. And so they have a slight uptick in new people who are entering that industry, the healthcare industry as well. And so I thought that was interesting. The focus has been on, how so many millions of people have left their jobs in pursuit of others. But this report kind of points out where the upticks are, as well as how some sectors are kind of balancing out with people leaving and others coming in. And healthcare and education would be one of them, or two of them, I should say. All right. And lastly, Sophia. Who's Sophia? Sophia, the android. She wants to have a baby. Now, for those who don't know, let me just give you some background on Sophia. Sophia made history back in 2017 when she became the first android to be granted formal world citizenship by the country of Saudi Arabia. Well, this famous robot, who is controlled by an advanced artificial intelligence system, told everyone that she thought being around people who love and love you is very vital. She went on to say that she would like to see android families in the future, and that she herself would like to have a robot baby with the same name. However, she did clarify that she thought she was still a bit too young to be a mother. As you know, or may not know, the Hanson Robotics business in Hong Kong just built her back in 2016. So I know you're saying, well, how is this robot able to express herself like a human? Well, this is how it happened. They're saying through sensors and cameras, Sophia's artificial intelligence technology kind of allows her to expand her knowledge and language, and she becomes sensitive to everything around her in the outside world. And they're programmed to mimic human behaviors as closely as possible, including our gestures and our emotions. And so as a result, Sophia's desire to have a baby and form a family of her own would be nothing more than her system's training to emulate human social behaviors. And that's why she said what she said. Now, Aside from making controversial comments like that, what else does Sophia do? Well, according to an article in Enterprise magazine, or on enterprise.com, I should say, Sophia is a successful world class artist and art critic, in addition to being a robotics icon. Yeah. Now, one of her pieces was auctioned in April for over 600, well, nearly $700,000, or what is considered 14.3 million Mexican pesos at today's currency rate. Sophia also serves as a lecturer on science and technology topics, sharing the stage with many well-known individuals in virtual conferences, during televised events, and even in universities throughout the world. That's what she does. Now, listen to this. Earlier this year, Hanson Robotics reported that they would be making or mass producing hundreds of robotics or robots like Sophia with artificial intelligence to help aid in the fight against COVID-19. And so we'll continue to follow this, everyone, and see how things develop, especially on that particular issue. All right, let's jump to the stock market report, backed by popular demand. As of about 11:30 this morning, the Dow was up by 500.23 points to 34,880.54 points. The S&P 500 was also up 68.81 points to 4,432.56 points, and the NASDAQ was up 237.46 to 15,046.55 points. Gold was looking pretty good, up $2.74 per ounce to $1,796.63. And oil also had a slight increase to 41 cents, or I should say by 41 cents to $81.03 per barrel. And that concludes our business news. Now let's segue into our entertainment news. Now, we've been following Wendy Williams here at Marilyn's Cafe Society because I consider Wendy my sister of the microphone. You know, she started out in radio around the same time I did on the East Coast in New York and so forth. Her career is far more legendary than mine, you know, her progress in her career, but nevertheless, you know, I still cheer for her and am excited about her success. And so this is the latest news that we've heard, according to an Instagram post from the Wendy Williams show just on Tuesday of this week. They confirmed that the show will actually return as scheduled on October 18th for its season 13 premiere. However, Wendy will not be there. They're going to be using a series of guest hosts and guest host panels to replace her, you know, until further notice. But you know, they're saying that her health status is still, you know, iffy. She's made some progress, but they're saying she's now experiencing complications as a result of her Graves' disease and her thyroid condition. And so, you know, it's been determined that more time is needed before Wendy is able to return to doing her live hosting duties. And so again, we send lots of love and prayers out to Wendy Williams, and you know, whatever she chooses to do. I know there's a lot of reports and speculation out there that she may be ready to retire. If that's what she wants to do, then we certainly support her in that. Or if she chooses to come back, we support her in that. But whatever will make her happy. All right. And then there's that story that just dropped, I believe yesterday, on Kyrie Irving. let's pray for him as well. He decided, some time ago that he was not going to take the COVID-19 vaccine. And so that's all fine and dandy. I think it's up to the individual. That's what my personal belief is, especially only because I know and have read up on, and some doctors and scientists also recognize something called natural immunity and also herd immunity. And so, that's why I'm standing by people who decide that they don't want to take the vaccination. So listen, as a result of him making that choice, he's now being ripped apart on social media and heavily criticized by many. In fact, he's been benched by the Brooklyn Nets over his refusal to receive the shot. And of course, the Nets didn't want to pay him as a part-time player because he would only be able to play the games on the road. Now, some sources are saying that Kyrie said he was not anti-vaccine. That's what they call you when you make the choice not to take the vaccine. They call you an anti-vaxxer, and then they lump you into this category of, I don't know. But anyway, he's more concerned about mandates in general, and specifically how when individuals make the choice not to vaccinate, how they're being cut off from earning a living, from working their jobs. And so I just, in my heart of hearts and my spirit, I feel like attacks on people who choose not to take the vaccinations need to stop. If only you could see how mean and disrespectful you come across in media when you attack people like that. And some of you are people who have suffered from being attacked yourselves. It needs to stop. It's very alarming, and I feel for him, and I feel for anyone who has lost their job because they've made that choice not to vaccinate. Yes, it's a pandemic. I get it. But we clearly see in the numbers that millions and millions and millions of people have already had it, and have overcome it. And so natural immunity is a real thing. Now, if you're that afraid of catching it, mask up. Most people that I know who have chosen not to take the vaccine still wear their mask anyway. And then, of course, there's always the option to test. Take the test before you get on the basketball court. Allow him to take the test. Allow your workers to take the test. All right, everybody, enough of that. Passion for fashion. Let's get into it. Well, so far, I've talked about the popular colors for the fall season, the standout textures, the pleats of all kinds that we'll find in all clothing pieces, from skirts to pants to blazers. Well, today, I want to take a look at the return to work or office fashion. Again, some people are returning to work. And so what should we wear when we return to work? Well, here's what's happening or trending this fall season and back to the office attire. Or even if you just, are still going to work from home, but you just want to kind of get out of the sweats and look, spiff yourself up a little bit. Well, it's all about the tailored look this fall. That's right. We've gone from the comfy casual to the trendy urban tailored looks. And so it's okay to show up in a nice double-breasted blazer and a suit. Or there's also those tailored suits, the tailored vest suits, I should say, without the jacket, that are popping up all over the place. Dramatic tailored power blouses, those blouses that that you don't want to wear a blazer or a jacket to cover it up because it's just so dynamic and tailored and form fitting. Yeah, wear one of those with a complimentary pair of pants or trousers. Also, tailored jumpsuits are suitable for the office or even working from home. And even knitted tailored sweater sets are very popular this season. Other fabrics that you'll find these tailored looks in include leather, wool, gabardine, cotton, and even polyester blends. So yes, you all, this sounds like a whole lot of fun. I would just have so much fun with it. And so as you return to work, to the office, or if you're just stepping up your work from home attire, enjoy it and have fun. And that is our report on passion for fashion. All right, one last thing before we wrap up this show. A majority of the sodium in the United States diets come from packaged or restaurant foods. Did you know that? Yeah, it's not the salt that people add to their meals at home. It's the salt that's in the packaged goods like the chips and frozen dinners and things of that nature in restaurants. My goodness, it's a lot of salt in that. And so the Food and Drug Administration has done something about it. Yeah, on Wednesday, they announced new recommended limits on how much salt manufacturers and restaurants should use in food with the goal of reducing Americans' overall sodium intake by 12% over the next 2.5 years or so. Now, why would they do that, you ask? Well, they want to help Americans achieve lower rates of heart disease. And of course, that's one of the leading causes of death here in the United States, along with hypertension and strokes. So you should note, however, that the new salt intake of 3,000 milligrams a day is still more than the dietary guidelines for Americans recommendation of 2,300 milligrams per day. So the new FDA recommendations has dropped down to 3,000 milligrams per day, but it doesn't line up with the dietary guideline here in America, which is 2,300 milligrams a day. Now, the FDA is working on plans that will target that and incrementally lower the American sodium intake over a period of time. And so it's in the work, although it's, your packaging and restaurant foods will still have a little bit more than what the dietary guidelines recommend, but not as much as it has been. So I just wanted to mention that, all right? Once again, just a reminder of our word for the month of October, erumpent. Erumpent meaning bursting forth or bursting through a surface. And man, I'm just thinking of a situation right now. I can't wait to see someone burst through a door that the good Lord is going to open. All right. So our first countdown to Christmas giveaway is coming up. Yeah, we're going to do that on the 20, let's see. October, Saturday, actually we're going to do it on a Tuesday, October the 26th. So send me your email with your name and your contact information so that I can put your name in the hat and you will possibly be the winner of that wonderful prize, gift bag prize that we'll have in store. And if you want to make contributions to the gift bag or help make it even that much more better, send an email to us, producer@Maryland'sCafeSociety.com. All right, everybody? Okay, so remember, you want to check out the website, Maryland'sCafeSociety.com. There you connect with me on social media. You can also check out the blog every week. And of course, here on YouTube, be sure to like, subscribe, and share and join the email club that I just started. Yeah, you can receive one email a week on Mondays from me. Just a couple sentences of inspiration or humor. All you have to do is send your email to me, Marilyn's Cafe Society at yahoo.com, or just the producer at Marilyn's Cafe Society.com, and just say, add me to the email club, and that's it. You'll be a part of it. All right, so before we go, we're going to talk about what love is. And I'm so happy to announce that I definitely have it for today. So, love is what fates have in store. And here's a picture of the cute little couple as they walk past each other, but looking back, noticing each other. Isn't that cute? All right, that's what love is, everybody, on this Thursday. So I gotta go, but before I do, I want to remind you that if you don't do anything else for the rest of the week and through the weekend, be sure that you live, you laugh, and you love. As always, it's a pleasure and a privilege, and I'll see you on the next show, all right? Peace, everybody. Stay safe.